This is the Excess Manchester Football Social. It is the full-time Devils takeover, and what a week we've had since we last spoke to you last Thursday. A defeat to Huddersfield, a win against Swansea, getting us to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, the League Cup, whatever you want to call it. It has been a dramatic week for United fans, so we're here to sort of chill everything out, settle you down, and let's talk United for an hour. Let's get you in touch. 0345 111 7625 if you want to speak to us tonight. 87711 if you just want to text us. We're talking about a lot of things. One of them is being the draw. We can announce to you that we've got Bristol City away. We'll be speaking to Adam McKola, who was at the draw. It was a chaotic draw, delayed because of a technical issue, but it has been drawn. And if you've not heard, United have got Bristol City away. We'll be discussing the midweek game against Swansea in no time, and we'll be discussing Jesse Lingard with the legends that are in front of me. It is Gaz. Good evening, Gaz.
Hello.
How are you, Gaz?
Fabulous, mate. Good to be back.
And Webby, you okay?
Yeah, not bad.
We'll just do a little recap of what's happened since we last spoke to you. Saturday was an eventful day for United fans. A defeat to Huddersfield. Let's just then initially speak to you two about your thoughts, your review of the day. We'll start with you, Webby.
Right, Huddersfield, I'd done a tweet on the way to the match saying if we wasn't ready for it, we weren't up for it, we wasn't, from the word go, would come unstuck. I got laughed at, got shouted down. I was right, obviously I didn't want it to happen.
Gaz, what did you make of it?
Right, to be honest, I don't want to put all the blame on one person, especially because it's completely not his fault at all. It's just, it's not his fault that he's like this. But I've been saying it a lot this season. I've been saying I'm just waiting for Phil Jones to wake up and remember who he is. And you know what I mean? And realise that he's Phil Jones, he's not Baresi. And he went off injured after 20 minutes and then left us in quite a bit of trouble when he'd gone off injured as well. Lindelof coming on to replace him, who was absolutely shocking, as everyone's aware. And it's just, I kind of just think like we shouldn't have been relying on Phil Jones in the first place. We should have been aware that either his performances are going to drop or he's going to get injured and leave us in a bit of trouble.
We did move on. Wednesday was a game against Swansea to bring us to the quarterfinals of the League Cup. 1-2-0. And both goals scored by a guy who will split some United fans down the middle. And something I want to talk about today on the show, on Twitter. If you want to get in touch, 0345 111 7625. It is Jesse Lingard, the man who scored both goals to obviously bring United to the quarterfinals of the League Cup, but a man who, personally, I believe, isn't good enough for Manchester United. Now, I know that is a boo, like noise, and you get away, you will be split. What is your opinion? Jesse Lingard, is he good enough for United? 0345 111 7625. So I'll put that towards the gentleman in the studio. I'll let you take that, the reins here. I personally do not believe that if I was going to pick a squad to get into, if we're in the Champions League final, I've got to pick my starting 11, I've got to put my subs. I don't think Jesse Lingard would be in that squad. Okay. I don't think he is anywhere near that. Squad and team, so squad, even on the bench. I wouldn't even put him on the bench. I don't believe he'll make any sort of impact in any big game.
No, I want you to start this.
Right, I'll start, right. Great lad, living the dream, playing for Man United, what we've dreamt about. He knows deep down, I think he's not good enough to start in the 11. Sometimes he'll do a job. Obviously, he scored a great goal against Crystal Palace. Scored, obviously, against Southampton last year. It wouldn't be in my starting 11 if everybody's fit. I think he knows that himself. But fair play to him. But I look at other teams, like I said to you before, Gaz, those number 10 positions within the Premiership, and I look at, on his day, Mesut Ozil, class, on his day. I look at Liverpool's... What's he called? Coutinho. Yeah, class. I look at Tottenham, Dele Alli, class.
Yeah.
I look at Lingard, good player, average player for me. I'm not going to slaughter him because he's living the dream what I've dreamed, yeah?
Yeah.
He's played for United and he's scored some great goals, but deep down, is he good enough? No, I agree with Joe, but I think he knows that, so if he comes in, he'll do a job. But the Huddersfield game there, he's playing number 10 for Manchester United Football Club. And he wasn't good enough, and he wasn't just the only one, so I'm not going to slag him off, but he gets in some great positions because he's fast, but
he's quick. But
it's that final ball, Joe, that final ball what Ozil will hit, a split in the defence, he's not got it, and I'm not going to slag him, and people keep saying to me, Webby, but give him a chance, he's only a kid. He's 24 years of age, he's not a kid, he's a man. Now, fair play to him. He's got a nice deal. He's got nice wages, but deep down, he's not good enough to make a starting I-11 when everybody's fit. Over to you, Gaz.
Right, now, online, on Twitter especially, it seems like everyone is either in one camp or the other in terms of either everyone absolutely hates Lingard and wants to see him sold immediately, or everyone loves him and wants to see him starting every week. That's not the case. But everyone literally, I think deep down, everyone agrees exactly with what Webby's just said there. He plays the game, he's a squad player. He's good enough to be a squad player for Man United. I compare him to Park Ji-sung, who was in our squad when we won Premier League titles and European Cups. He's that sort of squad player. He's not going to start every week. No one's saying he's good enough to start every week, but he is definitely good enough and has definitely proven enough to suggest that he should remain in this Man United squad and get the odd game when he's needed, whether that be in the Carabao Cup, whether that be when a player's injured in a Premier League game against lesser opposition maybe, or even this weekend against Spurs. I'm not saying that I'd start him, but I think you'd have him on the bench ready, because Mkhitaryan has looked shocking recently, and I don't think that Jesse Lingard's better than Mkhitaryan. I'm not gonna go out and say that.
We do film this,
but I do think that Mkhitaryan needs a bit of a break, and I think Jesse Lingard is that good, hard-working player to bring in just for the week and, just give Mkhitaryan that break. I think he looks knackered at the minute.
The Park and Jesse Lingard comparison, Park was obviously a workhorse, wasn't he? But the thing with Park is he got the little things right, which is why it made him quite a good player, why Fergie liked him. If he needed to do a job, Park was on and he'd do that job.
That's exactly
going back to Park there.
Lingard can do the job. He's sloppy, he can run quick with the ball, but apart from that, you won't have him round the back, helping out the defence if needed. I just
think the manager's played him in the wrong position there at for number 10. Me, is a crucial position, and people, I know goalkeeper is, but that number 10, that can win and lose your games more than win your games. And we had some great possession there up at Huddersfield where I could see the killer pass, and he didn't do it. It gets fans on the back. And I'm not going to have a go at him. I've only ever had a go at one United player, and he put the V's up to me. So I'll never do it again. That was Mr. Colin Gibson when I was a young kid. But there you go. We get behind him, but he's not good enough. I'm not going to slag him. Great, as you said, Gaz, squad player, could come on the last 15, 20 minutes when defences get tight, because he has got that pace. But for me, we deserve world-class number 10s, and he is a good player, but he's not world-class. That's my opinion.
Do you know what I think of Jesse Lingard? I think he was sort of an Overton kind of guy. Do you remember him?
I think he's better than Overton.
I just wanted to say that.
It seems like, it seems like United fans always need a scapegoat.
We don't need a scapegoat when someone's not doing a good job.
They need that. They always need that. But I don't think, what's Lingard done to suggest that he's not doing a good job?
Not done a good job.
We just had the back of 2 goals, and we're talking about.
I hated it when he scored them 2 goals.
Those 2 goals were scored because the ball, like Pep said, was a bit wrong shape. If there was a normal round ball, he could have skied that one. But no, 2 great goals the other night. Can't fault him. He's living the dream, and he's going to do it, and he'll give 100%. But I just think that deep down, he's just not got that little bit class what we need.
Running a bit of a poll on Twitter: 55% say out, 45% say in. Get online now. XS Manchester Twitter. Have your say. Have your vote. Text us 87711. He's not the only player you could question his performances on, and I think you'll hate me even more for this one. But a man who was sort of going to be maybe United's next captain hasn't been performing to the best of his ability, and in a way his passion is better than his style of play, and I think that is Herrera. Herrera has the passion of what I want to see a United player through and through, but at the minute you could say that his performances again haven't been as good.
Well, you look at it, if everybody's fit, Herrera doesn't start.
Well, I think
no, it's about opinions. I think he's gone backwards from last season, because in that Europa Cup final, it was key, and Jose said, I told him not to come forward, and he went off his own back, and I thought, he's making the noises here, but he's not. Obviously, the Liverpool game, you got to look at it, it was a poor performance. Yeah. Well, it was a poor performance. We took the point, and we come back with it. But obviously, people said, well, the wind was swirling at Huddersfield, but it was swirling for the other 21 players.
Yeah.
Don't blame that. I thought he did quite well on Tuesday night. He controlled the game, which Herrera does. Now, for me, what is his best position? Just in front of the back 4. going for. I like it when he's more forward, mate.
I like it when he's more
I like
forward.
He's a very, very clever player, and I think when he's at the back, he automatically goes sideways or back. But if you get him in that final third, he can open defences. Like, can he pass the ball to Rashford to the flick for Lingard for 1-0? Play more forward, better play defensively. It goes that Spanish option of sideways and backs, but. For me, he's another one. If everybody's fit, he doesn't start most of the time. But
I think that Herrera, very different to the Lingard situation. I think Herrera is definitely good enough to start for Man United, and I think he's proven that he is good enough to start for Man United. I think when people were saying that he's going to be a future captain, they were getting well ahead of themselves there. But I think that he's one of those players where he's been at United a few years, and you notice how much better he looks when he's got the right person alongside him. And he's one of those players that it kind of annoys me a little bit where they say, oh, it all depends on the player that they've got alongside him. Because I'm just like, well, he's not very good then, is he? He's only good if he's got someone to make him look good. And when he's got Pogba alongside him, when he's got Matic there, he does look, he looks a very decent player. This season, maybe not seeing it quite as much, but he's definitely useful, man.
Yeah, he is useful.
He's not world class, though. I'm not going to sit here and say he's world class, but
don't United need to have a full squad of world class players?
No.
Never
have. We've never have.
You got to have the right thing. You got to have the ones who are going to graft for you. You don't have to do anything special. You know, I mentioned it the other week. People going on to me about midfield players, and we was chatting about midfield players. And my favourite, well, he's not my favourite, but the best non-United midfield player I ever seen was Patrick Vieira. Won the ball, kept it simple. If you've got the ball, the other team can't score. You know, Vieira would win the ball because of the size of him, and he'd give 5 little yard passes, but he always kept possession. Now, I think with Herrera, I think sometimes he tries that bit hard, you know, to do, just keep it simple, you know. You know, Scholes, he was 50-yard passes, but he also kept it simple. Scholes is the best player I've ever seen in midfield at United, and I'm talking the likes of Keane in there, and Robbo. I was lucky to see Robbo in his heyday, but Scholes on a different gravy, you know. And Herrera last year, he was talking Barcelona, having a look at him.
Yep.
Now, you know, Muggy, if they're looking at you, you know, so he's just got to get his head right, and for me, if he plays more forward, he'll be a better player for Manchester United.
I agree. You mentioned the world-class players there. Do you think that we have more world-class players now than we did, let's say, when we won, say, the Champions League 2008?
No.
I'm just thinking.
So I'll run through the 2008. I just got the 2008 Champions League squad up.
I'm thinking how many world-class players can we name out of that team?
Let's run 2008.
Let's run through the 2008. The team that started for United. Van der Sar,
world class.
Wes Brown was at right back. No, but you would say the two.
My mate, Wes, world class.
You would say the two centre backs, Rio and Vidic.
Yes.
Left back, Evra.
At the time, yes.
Now, the midfielder, right midfield, bizarrely, was
Owen
Hargreaves. Now, maybe not world class, I agree.
No.
But in the centre, Paul Scholes, Michael Carrick.
Yes.
Both at the time, yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Don't, you don't need me to say anything.
Wayne Rooney.
Yes.
That was his best time at United, 2008.
Carlos Tevez.
Yes, at that time.
So if I put a squad in front of you now, best United squad, and we go through them bit by bit, what I'm trying to say is, maybe we do need more world-class players in them positions.
Maybe you've got a point.
We've turned them into world-class players.
I know we do, but it's not happened yet, because Lingard's not world-class, Herrera's gone backwards.
Maybe there was a certain factor that you're missing out that team had.
Yeah, maybe that was.
Someone called Sir Alex Ferguson.
And he was called Sir Alex Ferguson. Yeah. This is the Hexes Manchester Football Social. Get in touch, because we want to hear from you. 0345 111 7625. I've got a game.
Oh, no, not another one.
It's a game. But it's a very, very good game. It's took me hours to craft this one, and that is coming next. Good evening. It's 25 minutes past 6. It is the XS Manchester Football Social, the full-time Devils takeover here every Thursday from 6 till 7. If you can't hear us on FM, get us on the app. Do it now. It's great. Get the app.
Great sell.
Now, the League Cup draw was earlier on today. And now, obviously, it was about United, who were going to get in the quarterfinals of the League Cup draw. It didn't really go to plan. I think we can have more of an expert sort of voice on this. Adam McKola is on the line again for the second week on the trot. Adam, how are you?
Oh man, I'm bored every Thursday. So
Adam, what have you done? We sent you over to there to cover the fact that the draw.
I definitely didn't nick the balls.
It looks like you've done us a favour. Adam, can you tell us what happened?
So So basically, I'll tell you what happened from my perspective because I don't know what happened from behind. You said I'm an expert. I'm definitely not a Carabao Cup expert. I only realised today Carabao is an energy drink and not an alcoholic drink, which I was gutted about. But anyway, moving on from that. So we got told to arrive at 3:30 because the draw was at 4. So with it being that London, I got there for 3 o'clock. I was there, and then we were told to just wait around. So I was hanging around in the Twitter HQ, and then it was 4 o'clock. We were still waiting, and then it was 4:30, still waiting, and we just kept getting told there was delays. And I think they had an issue with the live streaming, so they planned to do a big live stream on Twitter, and then basically the stream failed.
Wait, Adam. The stream failed for the live stream on Twitter, and it was coming from Twitter HQ.
It sounds bizarre.
Yeah, so basically, Twitter couldn't sort out their own problems.
They were busy trying to verify me.
And a Twitter cushion, which I'm buzzing about.
You got a Twitter cushion?
Yeah, I might have nicked it by accident.
Adam, happy with the draw then? I mean, Bristol away, it's going to be a good one, that.
It's the one that I wanted, and it happened in the rehearsal. So we were watching the rehearsal while that went down, and we got Bristol City away. And then I thought, we're not going to get them in the main draw now. But then it happened again. I'm delighted with that one because personally, I've never been to Bristol City Stadium, so it's another stadium that we can tick off the list. And it's like if you get one of the big boys, you want them at home to give you the favourable draw. But then you know United are going to deduct 40 quid out of your bank account within 30 seconds of the draw finishing. So I think just having Bristol away, I think it was the best thing for everyone.
Adam, mate, we've been discussing today Jesse Lingard, and it seems like, and you'll probably agree, it seems like on social media especially, everyone's really either extremely against him or extremely for him. I know that you've got sort of a more balanced opinion, a little bit like me, but what do you think of Jesse?
I haven't got a balanced opinion. I love Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, that's what I mean by balanced opinion.
I love Jesse Lingard, not because he gets the club and all these cliches. Of course he gets the club and he's a Man United fan at heart. But I think a lot of people actually underestimate what he can do on a football pitch. Now, I'm not saying he should start week in, week out. I don't think he's that good. And I think Jesse Lingard would probably say the same as well, if he was being honest, that he doesn't expect to start every game. But as an alternative to someone like Mkhitaryan, as someone that can come in and change the game with his movement off the ball, with his energy, with all of that stuff. And then he loves scoring goals in big games. Like, I don't get why people criticise him as Manchester United fans. I'm not saying we should just ignore everything bad that he does, but we should get behind this lad because he's one of us. He is one of us, and the moment that those players start drying up, that's when we lose that little bit of a connection to the club that we've all got. Everyone laughs at Chelsea that they can't get their youth players into the team, but when we make someone like Jesse Lingard an integral squad member, people complain. It doesn't make sense to me. He deserves his spot in the team. He's a very good player, and long may it continue.
Adam, thank you very much for your call. Get home safe, Adam, mate.
Cheers, man. I'm finally out of London.
Oh, mega. Have a safe journey, Adam. That is Adam McKola there telling us all about what happened at the League Cup. But at the end of the day, it's done now, and we've got Bristol away.
Yes.
It happened in the dress rehearsal.
Ball, cold ball, definitely there. Definitely 100%. But like you're saying, I'll be there a week before Christmas. I've never been, so it's like you're saying, it's a tick off to another. How many is it old? How many is it old? It's only been 20,000.
Probably not.
Is it still Ashton Gate?
Is it still Ashton Gate?
I don't know.
I don't have a clue. We haven't played them since 1979, apparently.
So we've not played Huddersfield since 1979. I don't know what happened there.
We've got Rob on line 2. Rob, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, Rob. Now, have you got an opinion about Lingard?
I have, yeah. I think he's a very good, very effective squad player. I don't, let's be honest. He's not getting in the Real Madrid starting 11, and he's not going to pick up, 30 plus league games for us starting. But I think people have been very harsh on him. I honestly think if we'd spent 35 million quid on him, people would be a lot more patient. Yeah. But bizarrely, because he's one of our own, we're keen to throw him on the scrap heap the minute he has a bad game. The fact that you've been talking about Mkhitaryan, he looks tired. Let's give him a rest. Let's take him out of the team. I question whether you'd be saying the same thing about Lingard. You're giving Mkhitaryan the benefit of the doubt, but you're not giving it to Lingard.
To be honest, to be honest, I feel like Mkhitaryan might have proved himself a little bit more during what he's done in his career already to what Jesse Lingard has done, and that's not taking it away from his achievements.
He's played a lot more games and he's older.
And
Lingard's never been given a run in games, has he? Listen, I'm not saying he should be starting every game, not at all. But as a squad, it's a squad game. And as a squad player, he is extremely effective.
So here's what I say as a squad player, and you mentioned that he won't get in the Real Madrid squad, and here's my biggest problem with Jesse Lingard, is that if we've got Real Madrid in the semi-finals of the Champions League, and we're down and we've tried everything, we've thrown the book at them, and they go, let's bring Lingard on, I just don't see him as that kind of player where the Madrid defence will go, crikey, Lingard's coming on, batten down the hatches here, boys. He's just not that kind of quality player.
Mate,
he won't be able to do any of that.
You're saying this like Danny Welbeck didn't score at the Bernabeu about 4 or 5.
Oh yeah, and we got through, didn't we?
Well, I'd say the only reason
I thought it was Evra who scored at the Bernabeu.
The only reason we didn't get through was because of the ref.
Because of the ref. So what we're trying to say is, we need Lingard to be on form, and we have to have a good ref on our side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What do you think about that, Rob?
Spot on, Rob, what he's saying about Lingard.
I think you're looking past a bigger issue. I genuinely don't think. I rung up a few weeks ago and said I thought we were lacking a wide player, and was asked who's available. Fair comment, but I saw Huddersfield coming, and I'll say this to you now. I think unless we're going to pull a rabbit out of a hat against Spurs, I think we might be in trouble.
Don't say that, Rob. Don't say that, Rob.
I'm not convinced Mourinho fully trusts these players yet. I'm really not, and that's the only thing I can come up with is why we are being as defensive as we are. And I think as well, it speaks volumes of the fact that we've taken Pogba out of the midfield and the speed of our players dropped dramatically. We've gone back to how we looked last season.
Remember, if you want to get in touch, 0345 111 7625. Now it's time to export ourselves to the Excess Manchester Library. I asked for library music, and this is the weirdest library music. Oh, sorry. This is the weirdest library music I've ever heard. Oh, same guy again. Right, here's a game for you. What a wonderful game. Where does this come from? We're in the weirdest library you've ever seen.
I was going to say, what library you got to?
Some sort of jungle library or something.
Is the game. A lot of the ex-United players have written books, or so they say, and I'm going to read out reviews of these books, and you have to tell me what autobiography it is. Now, they're all to do with United. 3 of them are ex-United players, sorry, I should have made that clear, and we'll do 2 now and 2 at the end of the show.
Okay.
This review, 2-star review from Rob. What I saw was very unpleasant. This man, you got to guess, is clearly a man whose arrogance massively outweighs his intelligence. Instead of getting a view of the other side of several controversial stories which peppered his career, it is laid bare that he acts impulsively and just expects forgiveness.
That's
it's a hard one.
David Bellion.
David Bellion. Who are we going to go for?
You know what? I think just because of the arrogance line, I'll maybe say Ronaldo.
Who are you going to go for, baby?
Cantona.
Oh, that,
I can tell you that you're both wrong. It's Roy Keane. It's Roy Keane.
Yeah.
And this one, in this first section of this wonderful game, I'm going to play this music when I get home tonight.
I bet you are.
1 star. And the headline goes, waste of money. What a waste of money.
Fellaini.
He cannot play football and is a rubbish pundit. Don't waste your money on this book.
I'm trying to think of anyone we've had who's a rubbish. It can't be Gary Neville, can it?
What are you going to say, Gaz? What are you going to say, Gaz?
Sack me.
Yeah, he'll sack you if you say it.
What are you going to say?
I'll say. I think he's completely wrong, but I'll say Gary Neville.
Gaz, you are correct. It was Gary Neville.
He's well out of order, though. Well out of order.
We've got 2 more of these on the way, as well as the Tottenham preview, which is coming up. A lot of people messaging in saying, "Oh, what a great game that was! What a great game!" Stop the text now. Stop the text. There's only about 2 minutes left as well on our Jesse Lingard poll. In or out? Is he a United player? You can vote now. I can tell you that it is 58% to one side. I can't tell you what side it is. Get online now. The poll is ending very, very soon. Have your say, have your vote. Now, I haven't done this for a while, but I've got Webby in front of me, and he's going to get something off his chest.
Yes.
Webby, over to you.
Yeah, we spoke before. I just can't get on this when people say to me on Twitter or in the street or at work, but Webby, you've got to lay off that player because he gets the club. He loves the club. I love the club. I love it more than just as much as you and as Gaz. I'm not going to play left midfield on Saturday against Spurs. You know, if they're not good enough and the attitude's not right, get them out of my club. You know what I mean? The attitude should be right, like I said before, whether it's Huddersfield away at Barcelona, home and this, but the player gets the club. He knows how the fans are, he knows how everyone feels. Well, so do I. You know what I mean? And I'm not on 80, 90 grand a week, you know what I mean? So, for me, they've got to get the attitude right, realise who they're playing for, get it sorted and get us back winning the leagues, which I'm used to. So, all this about, I get the player, he gets the club, no good in my eyes.
There we go. There's the getting one off your chest there for this week. And then, nice one. We love a nice one. I wonder if we've got like a...
I'm going to change it one week that I do the nice one because people think I'm like Andy Cross off Brookside.
If you know what a nice one is, because sometimes we have...
I just like to
Gaz
brighten the
here,
mood up.
little ray of sunshine. He comes out from his little shell, pokes his head up every now and again, wherever he is, and goes, here's a good story. So, Gaz...
Just a happy-go-lucky type of guy, aren't I? You know what, mate? As a United fan, and I know that it's a thing that's sort of ingrained in United fans more than any other, especially this my generation of United fans. I love to see young players doing it. I really do, and I love to see young players coming from United's academy and getting up and getting themselves into the team. And I think it's been a bit of a nice one this week for a few of them lads, especially Axel Tuanzebe, who played brilliant, I thought, against Swansea, and I think has put himself right up in the pecking order in some of those centre-halves. I think he's overtaken quite a few of them, Chris Smalling included. I'd rather see Tuanzebe get a game than Chris Smalling at the minute. There's a shout. There's his face. He's a young lad, mate, but I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather go for players that actually have a future at the club, and I don't think some of them do. And the young lad as well, McTominay, of course, signing a contract this week for Man United or just last week. It's good to see young lads, mate, getting through. And you know what? I'm just going to throw his name in there as well, since he did come from our academy. Jesse Lingard getting a couple of goals.
Here we go.
I don't want to blow his horn too much, mate, but I'm happy to see the young lads getting there and doing stuff for the first team.
We're going to move on to the next couple of games. We have got a caller. Alex will be with you in a couple of seconds. We're going to speak about Tottenham. The mascot is taking a break this week because I realised the Tottenham mascot was a cock.
What?
Called Chirpy. Chirpy the cock.
You mean
so we're going to have to take a bit of a pause on that one because he was very busy. We will be speaking about Tottenham.
Bet he was.
I don't know what he's doing. I was going to do a chicken noise then. I could do a good chicken noise. Right, Alex, are you there? Alex?
Yo, you're right.
I'm very well, Alex. Right, so you want to chat about the next 3 games, Spurs, Chelsea and Newcastle?
Yes, that is correct.
What do you want to say?
The Spurs game I'm not very too confident about. Like, the back line, like, I have to agree that Lindelof, is he really worth 40 million? Because the way he played against Huddersfield, I would say what he did is around Sunday League. I'm not very confident. I'm not very confident.
Joe, after his mistake, mate, he played okay. You know, it was a bad mistake, don't get me wrong. The kids, but look at Vidic when he first come. You know, Vidic was getting slaughtered his debut at City and he made through a mistake. If he turns out as half or as good as Vidic, 40 million's a snip now. That's today's market. What did we get Vidic from Moscow? Was it 8 million?
Yeah.
All right, he'll come good, mate. And be positive against Spurs with Manchester United at Old Trafford. You know, let's be positive, you know. Come on, Joe.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like a De Gea story. When he goes from like worthless.
Good
to,
way to think about it there, Alex.
Yeah. Seriously, he is a fantastic player. Like, I've seen a few games at Benfica. I think you should give him a little bit more time, but I think more in like Champions League, League Cups, and he gets used to it, like into the United team.
Yeah. To be honest, that Portuguese league, it's like the Gorton Sunday league.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
a bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very poor, and that's no disrespect. It looks good for Sweden. You know, so like what Joe said there, play him in the Carabao Cup, play him at every European game where the pace is a lot slower, and then gradually bring him into the and I've got no doubt about that next year he'll be top notch.
Yeah, Alex, I want to ask you then, because you mentioned you got some worries about the next 3 games. How many points do you realistically think United are going to take from Spurs, Chelsea and Newcastle? Now, we can all be positive and says all 9, but realistically, Alex, how many do you think United are going to get?
Realistically, I think about 5 out of 9. Like Spurs,
2 draws and a win.
Yeah. I think in the Spurs game I'm going to play more defensive than more attacking, because literally we've all seen Harry Kane this season. He's been absolutely fantastic. Dele Alli, he's more like Tom Dewitt. Let's just be really, really honest there. He's been more of a diver. Yeah.
Wonder what you mean.
Yeah, he dives too much, to be honest. Let's just get that right.
Yeah.
Alex, can I ask you something dead quick? Lingard, in or out?
Oh, God.
He's
an FA Cup. He's an FA Cup. He's an FA Cup hero, like.
In or out? Said it.
I've got to go without.
Alex, thank you very much for giving us a call. Alex, call us again soon. 0345 117 625. Let's talk about Tottenham then. The people have had their say. Rob thinks it's going to be quite defensively. Alex isn't too confident. I'll throw to Webby first.
Well, I watched the game last night, you know, when I think it might be a North London thing. Arsenal are bottlers in it. Spurs bottled it last night. You know, they was playing the team low on confidence. The manager's on the verge of getting sacked. They're 2-0 up, passing the ball around, and then the next thing, crash one wallop, they're 3-2 down.
Yeah.
And they're out of the cup now. Don't let their managers fool you. Spurs haven't won a bowl of soup in how many years? So the cup for them is a great thing for their fans, because they want to win the cup. Mm-hmm. You know, and their fans must have been disappointed last night that they're 2-0 up against a team who are very, very low on confidence and they get beat. Now, coming to Saturday, is Harry Kane going to be fit? I hope he is fit. And Bailey comes back and you test yourself against these good players. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're going a bit over the top. I think he's a real good player.
Yeah.
But he's like England's only hope. So, hard game against Spurs. I think we can beat him. If you look at the game last year, we played well. Mkhitaryan.
What you say we're going to beat him?
I think we'll beat him, mate, yeah.
Guys, what are you saying?
I'm just not that confident, mate.
You've got to be confident, Gavin. Manchester United Football Club, come on.
I wish I was, mate, but I think I do. I just sort of think Jose's going to go there and try and get the draw. I think, though, tell you what, if Kane's out, I think we've got a bit of a chance. If Kane's out, and I think he might be, we'll have a bit of a chance. So, you know what? Let's say 1-0.
Are we saying we're having it? Oh, look at Webby there. Big smile on Webby's face. What are you thinking, Webby?
The score?
Yeah.
1-0.
Are we going to concede? No?
No, I always go 3-1, don't I? To be fair, 3-1 I'm going. 3-1.
Well, you will see what it is, because it's on Saturday. It's an early kick-off. United against Tottenham. It's going to be a very big game. I'm going to tell you now the results of the Twitter poll. I wish I had a drum roll. I don't. Can you give us a drum roll? The votes are in. Whoa! Everything's flipped. This is blowing my mind. 61%. Lingard in.
Yeah!
Fair play. No fair play.
Lingard in, 61%. There we go. Right. Joe's hot bath.
Are we doing this again?
We've transformed the library into a nice, soothing bath.
What I don't understand is, Joe, you said this is library music. Libraries don't have music.
Oh, wait, I've got a shush here. Sorry. There you go. I don't even need to tell you to shush. Here we are in the library of the XS Manchester. Webby and Gaz, good to see you here. You all right?
Yeah, fine. Yeah,
good to see you.
Revising.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is another Manchester footballer, and the review is by a guy called Saul. An awful football autobiography written by someone who has written more books than he's read. It is more showbiz rah-rah than technical information on how the game is played. This man prepares for matches, and maybe he should focus more on football than showbiz.
Beckham.
Well, you'd say Beckham for that last bit, but what about the bit where he says he's written more books than he's read? Is he talking about himself there? Or is he talking about the guy who's written the books?
No, the guy who's written the books and has written more books than he's read. It's just a joke, isn't it, really?
Oh, right.
Don't think too into it. What are you going to go for?
But for Beckham, then.
Beckham, yeah.
You're right, it's Beckham. And then finally, this one. United, is associated with United. Hardly an autobiography, more of a collection of I was right about everything and everyone.
Is it Fergie?
It is the Fergie there. Now, That's all I've got time for.
Good.
But I've got 3 minutes left on this. Join me next week for Joe's Hot Bath. Right, no, quickly, let's just say thank you very much for coming on the show, guys.
You're very welcome.
We'll be able to know if you've got it right or not next week on your predictions. Are Manchester United going to beat Spurs? You're going to have to find out at 12 o'clock on Saturday. This has been the XS Manchester Football Social. Thank you very much for listening. Make sure you go and subscribe to the... What?
Quickly.
Quickly.
We've got a Pugler Do Hotel Football Friday the 1st of December, noon start. We've got Gary Neville, Sean Goldter. Be good banter. If you need a ticket,
December, how do you get tickets?
You need to contact Hotel Football or Benny Football Club. The number's on the bottom of the post. It'll be a great day. Not a lot of tickets left.
Get the plug in there.
We retweet the poster now, and we'll see you next week for the XS Manchester Football Social Full-Time Devils Takeover.